How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the James Loud podcast. Today we got Angel and Darron from Cali Kosher. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having us. Really excited about today.
Excited to be here after 420.
Yeah. How was your 420?
Oh, man, we smoked so much. Had to take a little power nap, a little 5 minutes to recuperate and make sure we could finish the day strong.
Nice.
Busted out the donuts, and I hid when they busted out the donuts because, you know, once the donuts come out, it's kind of over with. Yeah, it's kind of over with, so.
Yeah, I was high. We even ate some mushrooms yesterday.
Oh.
And then went to lunch. Go figure.
Yeah.
You special 420.
Yeah, no, I got to stay away from those.
You got to say, we did a microdose.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's a microdose in Oakland, legal, whatever, you know. But yeah, I was, these were some gushers. They were gusher gummies.
Oh, so mushroom gummies.
Mushroom gummies.
Hey, so they're evolving now, you know?
That whole industry is evolving.
It's coming up quick too, huh?
Before it was what, cap and stem and drink your orange juice?
Yeah. Yeah.
Grind
it
it
was
up.
like chewing cardboard sunflower seeds.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, so we have a little history together. We've been working together, I guess, for the last 4 years with some seeds. You guys ran some of my gear a while back. And
Definitely.
so yeah, what do you think of the genetics?
We loved it. It was very consistent. We ran it at one of our Calaveras farms.
Nice.
With Sugar Bear Farms, and had good results with it. Smoked well, extract well, rolled up well. You know, especially, you know, now with things evolving, you're talking about THC getting higher. So that's even better. I think around that time we were low 20s, somewhere in there in the THC range. So did well for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are vertically integrated as well, right? You have dispensaries, you have your grows, you have a lab. You work in the lab?
Yes, sir. So I handle all the extracts, solvent, and everything in between there, topicals and stuff like that.
Nice.
Excellent. Yeah, so yeah, vertically integrated. We're growing our own, got our nursery growing, do our own distribution, got our own manufacturing. So if you got any product that comes from us, it actually comes from us. We didn't go buy it from somebody else, roll it up, put it in our bag. It was actually grown by us, processed by us, and distributed by us. So completely vertically integrated. And of course, Cali Kosher is kosher certified cannabis.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you've been doing this a while. So tell me a little bit of history about yourself and how you got into the rec world. You know, what were you doing before rec?
Yeah, let's go way back. I started selling cannabis when I was in 7th grade, right? I went to 15 different schools. So, you know, after going to all these different schools, my network was pretty broad. And, you know, going from country to town, you know, a friend actually introduced me to some cannabis. His name was Stephen Parks, and fronted me my first pound of good old brickweed, you know, good old brick redbud, you know. So Seeded, definitely seeded, picking those bad boys out. At that time, I didn't smoke, so I was, you know, just bagging up little tin sacks, selling them in the apartments that I lived in, and was using the money just to buy school clothes and stuff like that. Obviously, at that age, I'm not trying to buy a fancy car or anything like that. So that's kind of how I got into the industry. And then when I was 17, I started growing indoor, and you know, from there, started having the pads like everybody did, and so on and so forth, and did that for a while. And then here we are coming to the medical side of it. To make a long story short, did the Oaksterdam University thing down there in Oakland, and kind of followed that motto, and doing the nonprofit and all that good stuff.
You do the 3-month course or the longer course, or you do the weekend?
I did the short course, nice. the whole compacted course. Did it real quick, I think in like 3 months or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe less than that, but I did that thing, and then got my greenhouses up. I got a dispensary, purchased a dispensary right there in Modesto that was only a medical dispensary at that time.
Yeah.
Ended up getting it licensed, getting my greenhouse license, was on the forefront right there in Stanislaus County, and getting everything approved and doing the walkthroughs with the state and with the local municipalities and stuff like that. So man, here we are today, pushed to get vertically integrated so that we could be, you know, more of what we were on the black market side, being able to do everything, right? So my goal was to keep on doing what I was doing, so I had to get every license. So we did. Very fortunate in doing that, and I think, you know, we're one of the very few that have every license, and it's just you know, us, and we don't have no Canadian groups or any outside investors or anything like that. It's a group of friends and myself, and we own our land, we own our license, and That's why we're still here today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially when times have gotten tough and prices have dropped and it's so much more competitive. I even think the quality of this stuff in rec has gotten so much better, over the last 3 years. And I saw some of these guys coming into the rec market from the black market or the medical market, and they had good products. And then as soon as they jumped into rec, they started scaling really fast, and then the product went to shit. There's a whole bunch of brands, and I've seen your stuff, and you had consistent product over the years. What percentage of your product stays in the company and then through your dispensaries, and then what percentage goes out typically?
Through our dispensaries, it's probably about 10-15% through our dispensary. The rest of the product goes out to the other dispensaries throughout California.
Nice.
Yeah, so
awesome.
It's been good. But one of the reasons why you see the the quality taper off in the beginning is everyone was trying to figure out compliance. They were trying to figure out, how do we navigate through just getting the license, or getting approved through your local county or city or whatever it is you're trying to do. Everyone was trying to navigate through that, and they forgot that, hey, we still got to grow the product and do all this stuff.
Yeah, and kind of what I saw is the first ones to get the licenses weren't like the legacy guys. They were like the big companies with a lot of money, and so of course they're not going to have as good a product.
Right. No.
And I think people are definitely catching up. In general, I think like Seattle and Washington, I feel like their market's a little more stabilized, although they've had a recession lately.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting. So today, what we're going to do on the show is we're doing a blind tasting. So we have 3 different products that I pulled. We got eighths from Cookies and Hayward. Big shout out to those guys. And what we're going to do is a blind tasting. We have one of them that's a $5 a gram or less, one that's $10 a gram or less, and one that's $15 or more before taxes. And so it's just a fun way for us to get involved with the industry and showcase different products. And sometimes the more expensive ones aren't as good as the cheaper ones, and vice versa. It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to start with this first one. You want to dry hit it?
Yeah, why not? Let's see what we got here. It's rolled nice. It's for damn sure. Okay. Got a good dry hit to it.
So we got a professional joint roller here. We had a professional joint roller at Instagram on our show. That's what he does for a living, and he does all these tips, and the guy does some pretty amazing stuff.
So what's the specialty on this one that he rolled, huh?
Yeah. So this is my guy Joe that works with me, who I've known since he was 10, and this guy has been rolling joints for 30 years. I mean, I've been rolling about the same, but he crushes it, and so I have him roll the joints every week. Sometimes I do if he's not around, but he does a really good job with it. But yeah, it's the simple crutch, and then I do the reverse roll, But this guy, the professional joint roller, this guy fucking does 100 joints a day, and they're all like eighth size joints.
That one looks pretty proper to me. All hand rolled too, huh?
All hand rolled.
Yeah.
If I ever do a pre-roll, it's going to be hand rolled. I'm not doing the machine, none of that stuff.
Packing the dust.
Seriously, using a blender?
Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
So here goes subject number A right here.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
Okay, so I'm in the manufacturing side of things. So basically they grow fire flower at the farm. Mm-hmm. So they hunt it. They get it dialed down, send it over to us. And then from there, we'll decide whether we want to process it in a solventless or BHO, depending on yield, quality, and everything. And then from there, we could go another step further, and we'll either make it into rosin jam, solventless carts. There's a wide variety of consistencies under each one,
Yeah, so solventless carts have, over the last year have gotten really popular. People love.
They're big right now. Yeah. They're real big right now. They like the half-gram carts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't really like the gram ones.
I don't really like the gram carts either, because I feel like by the time you get down to the end of them, they don't taste very good.
Exactly what everybody says. It tastes burnt by the time you get to the end of it, so they'd rather just a quick bang.
Yeah. Are we talking solventless here?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them got that burnt.
Yeah, I mean, there was those 2 gram carts going around for a while, and it's like they're thinking more bang for the buck. You know, they could charge a little more. I don't like 2 gram carts.
No.
So live resin 2 gram carts. The concept was good. I mean, whatever they were thinking, they could save some money and put 2 grams, but it starts tasting bad halfway through. On 2 grams, you got about a gram of good stuff, and then it seems like with the rosin carts, the solventless carts, it's like the half gram is the perfect amount. Because I mean, even if you do throw away a little bit at the end, or you don't want to hit it anymore, you're not losing that much.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about
Look at the
this
ash
joint?
look at the ash on that thing though. What do you think about that?
I think the ash looks really good. What do you think?
Looks pretty white, man.
Yeah.
It looks pretty white.
Ash is
It's not
good.
the whitest of white, but it's pretty white. And
It tasted okay. It was smooth. Maybe not as good as a terp transfer as I would have liked from the dry hit to the lit hit, but it's not bad. It's not harsh.
it's not harsh. Here, try another hit of it. The second hit's better than the first.
That's what I tell him too. I'm like, let me hit things the second time. 'Cause sometimes I feel like the first time when I light it,
Yeah.
I don't know.
For me, it's got to make it to round 2.
So talking about like some of the old school strains, like cat piss back in the day, you could fire or sour diesel or OG Kush, like really good Kush, really good genetics back in the day. Not with everything, but like the special stuff, you could fire it up a week later and it would still taste like that.
Yes, exactly.
You don't see that as much anymore.
Yeah, we were trying some stuff out yesterday. We had some friends over trying out different stuff that people brought over, kind of like we're doing today. I go back in there in the morning and I always tell Tony, like, hey, let me grab a couple of those roaches before you throw them away. He's like, man, no, I'm gonna roll a fresh one. I go, no.
Yeah.
I want to check the relight of a couple of these things,
Right.
I want to know if it still carries terps on a relight. That's
That's
saying
the truth.
something.
That's
saying
the truth
something,
right there, for sure.
That's some real weed, you know?
That's real connoisseur stuff, though, right? Like you're really,
It's rare. It's
Yeah.
rare. It's
No.
rare genetics wise because there's a lot of good stuff that smokes well, but it doesn't refire well. And that's one thing that really attracted me to weed when I was a kid. Got me real excited about stuff where you could smoke because I smoked roaches when I was a kid. We didn't have all the money in the world, and
nostalgia.
yeah,
For me, roaches are nostalgic. It just takes me back to raiding the
Do
ashtray.
you guys ever roll the generation joints where you have your jar of fucking roaches and you break all the weed out and roll a
Yep.
fucking blunt or roll a big joint?
blown out?
Those get you
Blown
super
out.
high, yeah.
How about I got this one real
Leave your
quick.
finger smelling all nasty.
Someone packs the blunt roach in the bong.
Oh God.
Has that ever happened to you guys?
Oh yeah. I mean, we used to smoke Reclaim too, but
Hey, but that's happened to me on accident. They said it was, but boy,
Put the whole roach in there.
I was done.
yeah. So I mean, that's a pretty white ash.
Yeah.
The flavor's pretty good. So what do you guys think? Is it less than $5 a gram, less than 10, or more than 15?
We don't get to pick at the end. We got to go by each one, huh? Right now? Okay.
Yeah, you just
Is that
and you
one-
can change it. You can change it at the end.
Okay,
but we're
but
just
just
gonna
as
go
of right now.
Just as of right now to kind of set
I'm
the
going
bar.
to say that one is going to be we're going to roll in the middle on that one. It's going
Okay,
to be the $10.
$10 or less.
That's what I was saying. I was saying $10 less.
Try it.
I felt like it was good.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it was bad. So I feel like there might be some other a little bit lower than that.
Mr. Nice Guy or some shit.
Mr. Nice Guy. Marks. That guy was a wild one.
Mr. Nice.
The biggest hash smuggler at the time. Smuggled hash in band equipment all over the world.
Really? That's a good story.
Old school outlaw, huh?
Old school outlaws. You
Right.
know, it's like I'm 46 right now, and the generations before us, it was a lot crazier. It's gotten so
Still a bit more loose around us.
Oh yeah, a little bit more loose, a little bit more accepted by everybody. You had to be in the shadows before. And now
Exactly.
you're coming out in the light. I'm out in the light. We're telling our stories. Before it was like a secret.
Exactly.
Like there
yeah,
might be
yeah,
some
yeah.
crazy stories over a joint or over some beer back in the day.
Like,
but
hey
you didn't
man,
tell your
so and so
stories there.
smokes weed.
Yeah. Or that dude's got 8 lights, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You better keep it on the fucking low, man. You can't go be telling that shit.
Yeah, don't be telling anybody I got
Come on.
8 lights, dude.
Right.
It's like
You had your select group of trimmers, it was all,
Yeah.
hush, hush, man.
when I first started growing in the 90s, we basically trimmed at each other's houses. We didn't really have trimmers. We didn't even pay each other. Like I harvested, everyone would come over. We trimmed the weed. We trimmed it wet.
Yeah, we did too. We were trimming it wet out the gate.
What was some of the first stuff you were going into? Like, what was?
There was a strain called Blueberry, and it was a sativa before DJ Short's Blueberry. It grew like spears.
Okay.
And I actually have a funny story because one that I was high as fuck, and the plants started growing. I didn't realize they would double in flower,
When
and
you
they
flip
totally
them.
doubled, and they were against the lights. And I fell into the plants, and I think I took out like 3 or 4 plants completely, trying to move the cola away from the lights. Slapped me in the face, and my fucking face swelled up a little bit. But yeah, we were growing like, oh man. So there was stuff from Oregon. There was like the 4-way. There was the Trinity, the 4-way. The snow bud. There was snow bud. There was snow cap, obviously, but there was snow bud. We had this strain called the snow, and there was a strain called the corn. And those were coming down from Eugene, along with like a little bit later than that was like the dog bud. We had dog coming from there. Trinity was really good. And I think there was a strain called diamonds, and it was just super frosted, but it was like the Oreos of today.
Okay.
And we got a lot of our stuff from genetics, really high end stuff from Oregon, really impressive. I used to grow in tables, and then I went to octagons. We did this vertical grow. How do you guys start out?
Me, I was good old Jorge Cervantes video. Matter of fact, back in the day, tried the Sea of Green method, just went soil and was speeding some good old 3-part GH, That was my first in a trailer out on Simmons Road in Turlock, California. Had a buddy's house on a little ranch. That was the first go at
With
it.
the little moving light rail,
Had the
that
light
moved
rail, had it going, had
back and forth.
1 gallon plants, screw them, just, little foot tall, flipped them, and just had little shrubs. It worked, And then from there, went into a shed, put it on a tray, did some flood and drain, with some Grodan cubes or some Coltaline cubes back in the day. And then from there just started evolving, and my strains were my very first ones with Granddaddy Perp. That was our stuff that we got from back in the day. Got it from Stony, and that's what we grew, and then got a hold of some Bubba Kush, and then was heading down to Oakland, and was going over there to the Bulldog and to the other dispensaries over there, and
Coffee shops.
buying some Triple X and some Morning Star and some Matanuska and some Romulan and just
Totally.
different stuff like
The
that.
Shaman, the Romulan.
Those things like that.
Yeah.
Then come to find out, all I needed to grow was fucking Granddaddy. Granddaddy was hot.
People loved Granddaddy.
Oh,
when they
That
came
was
out,
the best thing in the octagons.
It was. So that's how we started. So I'm an indoor guy. That's what I was for a long time, and been trying to get back to that. Been doing greenhouse and outdoor. I haven't had to.
You guys crushed it on the greenhouse, though. It's like,
but
it looks like an indoor product,
right? But I want to get back into that indoor and
for sure
go
Get
play
back to
in
the
there.
roots,
Just growing greenhouse and pulling tarp and doing it like the way we're doing it is old school. It's respectable.
It's respectable,
but
and I think it's harder to get a better product than it is indoor
100%.
because indoor you can control the variables. I make my seeds indoors.
Yep.
Going back real quick to the first grow that I ever had, which is a funny story though. I used a Phototron. I don't know if you remember Phototrons from High Times magazine.
Yes.
So we got a bag seed from something. It was in one of the buds, and we grew it out. And I used to fucking cut the top off, and I stole a light from the Sun Valley Mall. Little 400 watt, fucking cut the top off the Phototron, put that on the top, and had the plant grow up through it. And it was okay weed. It wasn't like super connoisseur bud back in the day. I think the outdoor I used to like outdoor.
Right.
And there was a time where outdoor was more expensive than indoor. Yep. I remember there was $4,000 pounds, $4,500 pounds of outdoor back in the 90s, which, it was more prized, I think. And it was sticky ass weed, really sticky stuff.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't know what they were doing indoor either, right? Like you said, Phototron, got the top off, did this, that, it came out all right. Outdoor, you take care of it, right, and dry it right is the main thing, right? That's the big thing these days is having the dry facility for 2 acres or 3 acres of outdoor.
And
that's
being
the
able
main
to
thing.
dry and cure it properly.
Yeah, you can grow some fire.
That's like one of the biggest aspects, and it gets overlooked so much.
Yeah,
dude, what do you guys think of this? I would say the ash is not super white, but it's not bad. You want another hit of it?
I'll take another hit here. Let me see. I like to take 2 hits.
What kind of terps? I get some terps on it. It's one of those strains that if you grow it like shit, it would probably still be terpy. But that's grown decent.
I'll tell you, for me, I'll take it again, but I would have spiked it already.
The second,
I'm hoping this last one is the winner, so I'll be right, because I would rank this one under the first one.
Yep.
I feel like the first one had a little bit more terps to it than
yeah.
than
This one has a specific type of terp, right? It's that tangy kind of terp to it. Like it's a sativa.
yeah. When I dry hit it, I could get that little terp on there.
Yeah.
Faint.
But like one of those ones that if you grow them in Morocco or something like that, it would probably still have that terp come through, even if it was like the ugliest looking grown like shit plant.
Yeah. I
So
didn't get too much tangy off that one right there. I got more, just more bland. I couldn't really decipher what the terps were in the beginning of it, but it wasn't nothing desirable to me.
Yeah, some sativa in it for sure. That's what I feel.
So less than 5 on that.
Yep.
All right, so we have less than 10, less than 5.
Yeah, we're going for gusto right here.
Going for gusto.
This is either better or worse.
The thing is like you can reassign the different ones at the end because
we'll see. Maybe the one that we thought under 10 was going to be the winner. You know,
we had people on the episode and we found one that was like the $85 eighth, and it wasn't as good as the $5 one. So you just never really know what you're gonna get. Well, life is like a box of chocolates.
This one we didn't get to dry hit it.
Oh shit!
You already messed up our.
Well, here.
This
just messing with you. Let's see what happens here. Put some water on it. Put a little water on the palate there, Angel. You know what I mean? Dust it off. I still taste that other one. It's not the.
You still taste that second one or the first one?
I still taste the second one. Like, not a good taste.
Yeah, it's like they didn't flush it. Or if they flushed it, I'm not sure. So what kind of nutrients do you guys use?
We use Mission Organic nutrients. We use that with a little blend of some Vital.
You've got to love Vital.
Yeah, so a little blend of both of those right there.
I run Vital soil at the house with the Vital nutrients. They give me the Vital nutrients. Brian doesn't.
Right.
I really like their product. Good people.
Yeah, we tried in some of our beds is Vital soil. We got a couple different beds that we tried out from Mission as well, but for the most part, after 7 years, it's our own soil. After just keeping the same soil, keeping it alive, keeping it tested, and this one is a lot tighter.
It is a lot tighter. I'm gonna have to talk to Joe about that one.
Did you roll this one?
No, I do roll tight joints like that, but that was Joe. Especially now, I wouldn't be taking credit for it.
Looks like it's burning nice.
My ears are popping.
You have to suck that hard. Let me see.
Huh.
So yeah, how has this weather affected you guys? Because we had our wettest year on record, hands down. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
I think they said it hasn't got this much water like in 30 years or something like that.
Something crazy.
Yeah, some crazy number like that.
Regardless of all that, we usually grow during the winter, right? We usually got our heaters running and our supplemental lighting is very minimum. It's just
100% humidity this year.
Yeah, it's just string lighting. This year there was no point to even attempt to battle, with the weather. Mother Nature won for our type of greenhouse for what we're doing. So this winter kind of shut us down. So
your growers are fresh and ready to kick ass, I bet.
I mean, they're hot on it. Season is season now, right? Because they had the downtime and now here we are in a full season. So everybody's ready to go.
That's awesome. So what do you guys think of this one? You think this is better or worse?
I'll go ahead and say mine. I'm going to go the first one we smoked, number 1, this one 2, another one 3.
Angel.
Tastes pretty good.
That tastes good.
So did you guys get more high after you took hits off of the second joint?
And pretty.
The effect was kind of there with the first one. I didn't really feel a change with the second one too much.
I'm gonna say the first one is number one.
The first one's the most expensive, the $15 or more,
Well,
or
I
the
mean, it's gonna be the best weed. I can't tell you if it's the most expensive, but yeah,
Right.
I guess by that we're gonna say that is.
No, he's like, how you wanted to judge
So-
it? The most expensivest or the most
This one being
pleasurable
tight
smoking?
makes me think like old and dry. I'm gonna go right down the line. 1, 2, 3.
one, two,
Number
three?
one is number one. Number two was number two. Number three was number three. So being most expensive, our $10 and our $5 right here. 5, 10, 15. Angel's going
15,
15,
5, 10.
5, 10.
15, 5, 10.
Anybody else want to try this again?
Oh yeah. Let me taste this one again.
Uh-oh.
This Ashburn's really nice.
What's happening?
He's like, what's
You guys wanna
happening?
Smoke any more of this?
I'll take one more hit of it.
Well, you guys got some joints we got to smoke too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's do the reveal. Let's see what we got
I'm
here.
going to put this out. You're good, right?
We're good. Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one, we have Sherb Cake by Seed Junkie Genetics. Sherb Cake was actually the middle one, $10 or less.
Hey, so we were right the first time.
You were right the first time.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys were absolutely right the first time.
The last one threw us in the loop,
Okay,
huh?
the second one right here. This is out the trunk. Out the trunk, $5 or less per gram.
All right, so we all got that one right? No.
Nope.
No, you
No,
did.
I
This
got
one
that
right here.
one.
Boom. This is Disco. Shout out to House of Cultivar. I really like the genetics. I just don't think it was like a super fresh product.
Right.
So Fountainhead, that's my partners Jason and Gordon. We have a company together up in Seattle. And so the genetics are from Washington originally. And the genetic, I think it smokes awesome usually, but it just seems like it was a little old. So
So it
sometimes
went 1, 2, 3.
One,
Most
2, 3.
expensive.
you guys got them all wrong. But that's, it's interesting. What do you think that means? As a business owner that's in,
Oh, so this one was the most
this
expensive.
was the most expensive.
Yeah.
This one was the middle, and then the out the trunk was actually the cheapest.
Yeah. But which one do you think was the best? All of us.
I agree that this Sherb Cake had the most terps.
Got it.
This out the
So
trunk,
we were all wrong.
all wrong. Yeah.
Fired, bro.
Didn't you
I-
pick the
I was
disco
wrong.
number one?
No,
He said the
I
disco was
said-
the cheapest.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
I said one.
Oh, yeah,
2,
that's right. You
3.
said 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
like
we
that,
both
right?
picked the same one as the best smoking was this one. You and I both picked this one as the best, as the most expensive, but it was the middle.
Yeah.
And I picked this one as the cheapest
Right. And it was the most
and
expensive.
most expensive.
At
So I
$50.
picked
a
the
little
cheapest
over
one, the
50.
cheapest, right? I got that one right. I just got my 1 and 2 wrong.
Right.
I got my lower end one right.
Looks like a Ferrari, drives like a Pinto.
Sativa always gets the rap.
So what's your thought on sativas? You guys like sativas? I think the market doesn't really like them that much, but I think sativas are amazing. Like, equatorial genetics. And
They ask for them a lot, it's in demand a lot by, a lot
if
of
you could do a
older people.
boutique, if you could do a boutique at a boutique level where I think it's amazing. I think there's a market for it, but it's tough at scale.
It's funny because just a couple weeks ago, we seen 2 people bring us some Jack indoor, and we're like, what? It's still in this age, growing it
I have
indoor.
some in my
Like,
bag. I mean, I don't smoke a lot of it, but I have European friends that come into town or whatever. And so I like, Jack's okay. I like the old Jack. I don't know if you guys remember the old Jack from back in the day that was like super funky and super pungent.
Mm-hmm.
It's there are several Jacks, obviously.
Right.
Jack Flash was one of my favorites that we had back in the 90s. And, there's Candy Jack. There was, J13, J26, and then the Jack Herrera.
Yep.
remember the Jays.
Yeah. And then there was a time where people were confusing Trainwreck with Jack Herrera. So you would buy Trainwreck and it would be fucking Jack. And I'd be like, dude, this is fucking Jack Herrera. Trainwreck
That's a big confusion.
That's a big confusion.
Yeah.
That's just, I think
Even
that's
the
when the
look.
fuckery kind of started actually back then.
Yeah, that was the first fuckery ever noted.
Yeah. Strain fishing or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I posted something like that. It was like, man, nothing's more heartbreaking than getting catfish by weed.
Seriously.
You know what I'm saying? You look at it, it looks nice.
Cutfish, when you get genetics, they give you the wrong fucking thing.
Oh, yeah, there's another one.
Cutfish. Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
You know,
cutfish.
man, it's out there. It happens,
Man,
you know?
dude.
You'll look at something, it'll look amazing, it'll smell amazing.
Yeah.
And you smoke it, and it's just like, man, no flavor, kind of harsh on the throat.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I gotta get catfish by this weed, man.
Yeah, my partner Justin, all the genetics, we do sequencing, everything's fingerprinted through MyFlora DNA. And so it's like we have the data, you know, and I think moving forward, it's going to be a lot harder to bullshit people.
Exactly. That's
People
what
are
I'm
going to
saying.
want to see the data, you know.
That's where the future's going. It's going to be able to identify everything. Like,
Yeah.
nope, that's not what you think it is. Sorry to break your heart, you know, but
Yeah.
you've been cutfished.
You've been cutfish. You can do a whole show on that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Spin off. I want credit, all right? Throw me in the credits.
Seriously. Yeah.
Bring your strains
Be
in. Hey,
real.
you bring your strains in, you know what I'm saying?
We're going to have to talk to Be Real.
Hey,
or
the
Be
lie
Real TV on
detector
that.
test results show.
Yeah. Hire Maury.
Yeah. Maury reads it out. I'm sure you can do it.
It'd be more fun with Cheech, but, you know.
They have the video.
So what do you guys think the industry is going to do in the future? Where do you see our industry going in the next 5 years, 10 years? We've gone through this consolidation in California quite a bit. A lot of people didn't renew their licenses. What do you guys think?
A lot of people didn't renew their licenses.
Here's what I-
75%.
Yeah, here's what I think. I think, you know, indoor is indoor. You can grow indoor anywhere in the country, right?
Yeah.
You can grow. I could build the same grow room here in California as I can in New York, right? And we could create the same environment. With the outdoor and the greenhouse, not everybody can grow that across the country. You know, you can't. You see people, they tried.
You can't do it in Florida like you can do it in Oregon or in California for sure.
Exactly.
I mean, at least most of the state.
Right. So I think that's, you know, if and when the lines open up, I think that's where it's going to benefit the farmers here in California, because people are going to want, you know, weed from Humboldt, weed from California, just like our wine. That's what I think, right? And then you're going to get your indoor boutique farmers, right, that are going to be like your micro breweries per se, that you have those special drops that happen at a little store here in Hayward or Modesto or wherever.
Right.
There's only certain stores that have these drops of this micro brewery that this certain person bred that he only makes, or this they only make, and there's only so much of it.
Yep.
So I think that's where we're going with that, right? You're going to have the big guys are going to come in. You're going to have your Marlboro. You're going to have those guys that, I mean, there's a couple guys that are already quote unquote
For sure.
at that status. I just think it's, you know, it's going to kind of go the direction of alcohol, right? You're going to have your Budweiser, your Coors Lights, and then you're going to have your Sierra Nevadas, but then you're going to have those even more boutique guys.
Yeah, the Russian Rivers as opposed to the Sierra Nevadas and like the Lagunitas. And I think Lagunitas is a great company. I think modeling it after somewhere between that and the wine industry would be amazing, especially with things like AVAs, the viticultural areas, where they're designated areas. And so in that region, you can talk about terroir, and then you can talk about how the soil affects the taste of your greenhouse or outdoor. And you can have strain specific stuff where you can go buy OG Kush that's grown in where you guys are, or you can go to Humboldt or Mendocino, and maybe OG Kush is grown in all three places.
Maybe it goes better.
Something for
Santa
I think
Cruz or
there's
something, you know,
dude,
or-
absolutely.
Or, you know,
We were smoking or smelling the weed earlier. That stuff that smells like when you're driving it, the eucalyptus driving in Santa Cruz. It's a good one. That's the collab with Mosca Seeds. We got it's a strain Raspberry Boogie times Zeros, and it's got all the fun stuff as far as terps and looks. And then it has this nice eucalyptus smell.
definitely unique in a good way, you know?
Yeah, so I think that's what I think it's what's happening. Like you said, terroir, light spectrum, where it's being grown at, so on and so forth. And like you said, 75% of licenses haven't been renewed, right?
Yeah,
With that being said, that helps out the farmers that are still
it does.
growing today, you know. And
There's
the
not a lot of
breeders and-
outdoor production.
No,
you
and
know?
then, you know, you've seen distillate take a increase. You know, people were getting liters for $600, and overnight it went to $1,600. So,
Right.
you know, that's a huge hike. You know, that's almost a triple.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So, shout out to those that are still out there.
Yeah, it's
Shout
not
out.
tough.
Big.
Hold the line.
It's not, seriously, man, it's been an interesting journey, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. Come out anytime. Let's rock it out, smoke some more weed. Maybe we'll
Definitely.
do a blind tasting where I taste 3 different ones and you guys bring them out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll reverse
for
it on
sure.
you. Reverse
thank-
Uno.
Thanks for having us, man. We really appreciate it. And thanks for, sharing your stories and letting us share ours, man. We really do appreciate it, and keep doing what you're doing. And a lot of the stuff we got to put our nose on today, that you bred and that you've messed with is amazing. And, can't wait to see it flourish.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, so where can people find you? Instagram, dispensaries. You want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, no, you guys check us out at Cali Kosher on Instagram, CaliKosher.com. You could find any of our merch, check out our product. We do actually deliver ourselves from Bakersfield all the way up to Stockton. So we can get you guys a delivery of our product or anybody else's product. So also on our website, you guys can check out and see what other stores that we are in. Just shout out to our team. Shout out to everybody that's believes in us. Shout out to everybody that supports us. Shout out to the industry and those that are still out there striving.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.